YouTube? Country CEO in the house once again, man. Guys, girls, what's up? All I can tell you, more game, more game, more game. All right? Glad to be with you today. Look, today's topic is, thank you, Abraham, because you wondered about this. Should you buy or finance your truck? All right? Seems like maybe an inconsequential question, but it's a good question. Should you buy or finance your truck? I've been asked this question before, and I've entertained it and answered guys on this particular situation because many people, do entertain the thought of just buying maybe perhaps a cheaper truck outright as opposed to financing and having a note, right? All right, so look. A couple things I just want to throw at you, some pros and cons, some things to think about from what I've seen and some of this what I have experienced as well. All right. First of all, let me say to you, buying or financing a truck really is your preference, right? All right. It's a choice that you definitely have the option of making. But it does require different circumstances to accomplish. And also it has different consequences perhaps as a result of making that particular choice. All right. All right. So let's look at this thing. All right. If you chose to buy the truck. Well, some pros, obviously, the biggest pro of buying a truck outright is that no note, right? You able to, and I'm assuming that this is a truck, that might not be 100,000 or 60 or 70, so this is a truck somebody might have found for $20,000-$30,000 and they've saved up that amount of money and they want to go acquire, right? So pretty much that's going to be a cheaper truck. All right, but the pro is that you would have no note, right? All right. And I think that's the biggest pro. All right. A con of buying the truck, all right, is that they're typically cheaper. All right. Why is that a con? Well, if they're typically cheaper, then that means they're also typically older, right? All right. Now watch how this snowball effect goes. If they're typically cheaper, they're typically older. And if they're typically older, then that's going to be more maintenance issues, right? Older trucks, typically, even if they're well taken care of, after a while, even the most basic components begin to have failures, more breakdowns, those kinds of things, right? Now, if you're a guy that's a mechanic and you work on your stuff and you can take care of all that stuff, hey, that might still even work for you, all right? I'm not saying don't do it. All right, but these are the cons that I would look at is that, the maintenance issues would have been an older truck because it was a cheaper truck and it was a truck that you bought outright, right? I say that from experience because I bought some cheaper trucks at one time because I wanted to try that route. I had typically, my first truck was an older truck, but then I bought like 5 or 6 straight new trucks, right? Because I just figured I didn't want to deal with the maintenance issues as much. You got to deal with maintenance at some point. But a guy at the mechanic, rather, at the dealership shared with me some wisdom early on that I thought was real profound. And after years, I found it to be true. He told me one day, he said, Perry, you're either paying a note or you're buying parts in trucking. One of the two, right? All right. Did y'all get that game? All right. Don't miss that. That's a nugget. He said, you paying a note or you're buying parts. Basically, you pick which one you want to deal with, right? And I found over the years that have been true. Well, after about 5 or 6 years of buying new trucks straight, I said, well, man, I'm gonna try an older truck, less overhead, more profit, right? And what I discovered is that, yeah, a couple of trucks that worked out. But then later on, as I went that route in my philosophy, I discovered that I ended up having to deal with maintenance issues. And what happened in my area is one of the guys that used to be able to run behind my trucks, meaning go fix on them when they break down or something like that, he unfortunately passed. And I no longer had anybody that was willing to just sitting around doing nothing every day and would run behind my truck. So I had to shift that philosophy back to getting trucks that were, get them financed, they're newer, and then less maintenance issues, okay? All right, so that's my spiel on buying a truck outright. Now, What about financing? Obviously, the pro to financing is that it's a newer truck, less maintenance issues, especially initially. You just don't, you won't have ticky tack problems, issues. Typically, if it's a newer truck, you got still powertrain warranty, engine transmission rims, stuff like that, that you can shoot it back to the dealership and get taken care of. And if it's a newer truck, you have the opportunity to buy an extended warranty. All right. So that's probably the biggest pro that I know of as relates to if you get a newer truck, obviously less maintenance issues. I would think also that a newer truck or a truck that you finance, being that it could probably be a newer truck, would be more efficient as relates to how it runs and fuel burning, things of that nature, because it's just a newer truck. All right. And so the only con then would be of finance a truck, would it be in a newer truck, would be then you would have the note, right? You would have a monthly note that you got to pay. But if I can just export any wisdom in this area, then it's certainly going to be the nugget that I gave you earlier. You're buying parts or you paying a note. You determine which one that you would rather deal with, right? And I'm just at a stage where I'm at now. I just rather pay a note, and have lesser problems. I don't have a new truck. And truck I just got is not a brand new truck, but it's a later model truck that I don't anticipate having any major issues in the meantime that will prevent me from being able to run and make a living out of it. All right. All right. So look, grinders, this video has been valuable to you. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Share this video, leave a comment. We'll talk about this thing, right? All right, so look, guys, girls, no grind, no shine. Country CEO is gone.